Welcome to Live, Laugh, Talk. I'm your host, James Graham, and it's a joy to be in your ear. In this episode, we will begin with the topic entitled Effects of a Politically Correct Society. Then we will transition to our segment, How Did We Get Here? Followed by our hobbies and special interest section, and then conclude with our sunflower message. If you have an idea, please send it at admin@livelaughtalk.com. That's admin@livelaughtalk.com. In addition, if you're listening on Spotify, you can add a voice memo, as well as comments and participate in our poll. And wherever it is that you listen to our podcast, whatever platform it may be, please follow us so that you're notified of the new episodes when they're released. The topic that we will begin with is entitled Effects of a Politically Correct Society. Political correctness is a term used to describe language, policies, or measures that are intended to avoid offense or disadvantage to members of particular groups in society, especially in terms of race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or disability. The goal of political correctness is often to promote inclusivity, sensitivity, and respect by avoiding expressions or actions that might be perceived as discriminatory or derogatory. While the concept originated with positive intentions of fostering a more equitable and respectful society, it has become a topic of debate. Critics argue that political correctness can sometimes lead to censorship, hinder free expression, or restrict open discussions on controversial topics. Proponents maintain that it is a necessary tool for challenging societal biases and promoting a more inclusive environment. The interpretation and application of political correctness can vary widely, reflecting ongoing discussions about the balance between fostering respect and preserving free speech. The concept of political correctness has its origins in the mid-20th century. The term itself has a complex history, but its early usage can be traced to leftist and progressive circles in the United States during the 20th century. It initially emerged as a way to encourage language and behavior that reflected sensitivity to issues of social justice, equality, and inclusivity. In the 70s and 80s, the term political correctness began to gain popularity, often used positively to describe efforts to avoid language and actions that perpetuated stereotypes or marginalized certain groups. It was particularly associated with discussions around race, gender, and social justice. However, by the late 80s and into the 90s, the term started to take on a more critical connotation. Some critics argued that political correctness was becoming overly rigid and stifling free expression, leading to debates about the boundaries between promoting respect and limiting freedom of speech. The evolution of political correctness reflects changing social dynamics, evolving language norms, and ongoing debates about how to balance the promotion of inclusivity with the preservation of open dialogue and diverse perspectives. A politically correct society can promote inclusivity and sensitivity. It can also reduce offensive language. But it might also lead to self-censorship, limiting open dialogue and potentially hindering free expression of ideas. Striking a balance is crucial for fostering understanding and respectful communication. In a politically correct environment, there's an emphasis on avoiding language that could be deemed discriminatory or offensive. This can contribute to a more considerate and respectful discourse, especially concerning marginalized groups. However, there are challenges in this. In discussing controversial topics, people may fear backlash or accusations of insensitivity. Balancing inclusivity with the freedom to express diverse perspectives remains a delicate task in such a society. And deeper exploration reveals that all of this aims to create a more tolerant society yet it sometimes faces criticism for stifling open discussion. Concerns arise around the potential suppression of dissenting opinions or the fear of being labeled as politically incorrect, hindering genuine dialogue. Striking a nuanced balance involves fostering an environment where diverse perspectives can be expressed respectfully without perpetuating harmful stereotypes or exclusionary language. The challenge lies in navigating this fine line to ensure both inclusivity and the free exchange of ideas. Further examination shows that a politically correct culture may impact humor and artistic expression. Comedians, writers, and artists may find themselves navigating a landscape where certain topics are considered off limits, potentially constraining their creative freedom. I know growing up and watching artists such as Richard Pryor or George Carlin, the things that they were able to say then, which was humorous to me, and it was artistic as well, could not even be thought about from a comedian's mouth nowadays. Comedians and writers have a tough job because they have to stay on the positive side while also saying what they really feel. And if you're a comedian and you can't really express yourself freely, what kind of comedian will you be? The whole job takes in the art of saying things that is how you really feel about it, but in a way that your audience can laugh. But if the audience no longer laughs because they're afraid of not feeling politically correct, then where are you? On the positive side, increased awareness of language and its potential impact can contribute to a more empathetic society. However, an overly rigid adherence to political correctness could risk suppressing the evolution of cultural discourse and the exploration of complex, multifaceted issues. Balancing sensitivity with a robust exchange of ideas is crucial to fostering a socially aware yet intellectually vibrant environment. Additionally, a politically correct society may influence education as well, shaping curricula to be more inclusive and diverse. This can enhance understanding and appreciation for different cultures and perspectives. However, there's another challenge that comes in there, like overcorrection, where historical events or literature might be sanitized, potentially diluting the richness of cultural narratives. As this has happened oftentimes with the subject of slavery. It has gotten to the point that slavery is mentioned just as something ordinary, or it was a way to gain education or learn new ways and tools. No, it was none of that. It was disgusting from its beginning to its end. So there's no making it clean or sanitizing it or being able to make it politically correct. There was nothing politically correct about it. So striking a balance in education involves presenting an honest portrayal of history while promoting critical thinking and empathy. Ultimately, the effects of a politically correct society are complex, requiring ongoing reflection and adjustment to ensure inclusivity while not sacrificing essential elements of open discourse and intellectual exploration. And what about in our workplace? In the realm of workplace dynamics, political correctness can contribute to a more respectful atmosphere. It may lead to policies that address diversity and prevent discriminatory behavior, as well as things that could be construed as sexual assault in language, sexually discriminatory. However, there's a risk of creating an environment where individuals will be overly cautious, hindering spontaneous and authentic interactions. Striking a balance involves fostering a workplace culture that values diversity while allowing for genuine expression, encouraging collaboration and innovation. And navigating these nuances of political correctness in professional settings requires a careful approach to promote both a harmonious work environment and individual authenticity. In entertainment, political correctness has influenced content creation by encouraging more diverse and inclusive representations. There's a heightened awareness of avoiding stereotypes and offensive portrayals. While this has led to positive changes, some argue it could still stifle creative freedom, as creators may feel constrained by the need to adhere strictly to politically correct standards instead of art. Navigating this balance is crucial to ensuring entertainment remains both socially responsible and creatively vibrant. This shift has also prompted discussions about cultural appropriation and the responsible depiction of various identities in media. The entertainment industry faces the challenge of authentically representing diverse experiences while avoiding tokenism. On the flip side, some critics argue that an excessive focus on correctness could lead to self censorship, limiting the exploration of complex and controversial themes in storytelling altogether. The ongoing dialogue about the impact of political correctness on the entertainment industry underscores the importance of fostering nuanced narratives that reflect the diversity of the human experience without stifling its creativity. Moreover, the rise of political correctness has influenced casting decisions, encouraging more inclusive casting practices that reflect the diversity of society. For instance, just 50, 60 years ago, it was commonplace for a white character to put on a certain makeup to look Indian or Native American or to be Chinese or even to put on blackface. We know today that could never happen. So, yes, political correctness has its place. It's changed things, it's influenced casting decisions, it's made more inclusivity just a norm. Yet, there's so much more to do. Because as the entertainment industry continues to evolve, this balance is going to get even more difficult. Yes, the negative effects of a political correct society can include a chilling effect on free speech, where individuals may feel reluctant to express dissenting opinions or engage in open discussions on controversial topics due to a fear of backlash. Maybe they could be labeled as insensitive. So, this could hinder the very free exchange of ideas and impede intellectual diversity. I know that I've had a conversation about this. I have individuals who say that they have, in conversations with other individuals, been corrected. Oh, maybe you shouldn't use this word. That phrase is offensive. Well, the thing that happens is then the person is reluctant to speak at all. After a while, there's just no dialogue because if they feel that they can't express themselves in an open manner, then what good would it do to talk whatsoever? See, we can't be overly zealous. We can't censor our friends. We can't lead to a censorship of ourselves and take away creative endeavors, art, or conversation that is just an opinion. If taken to extremes, this may contribute to even a culture that we see today, where individuals are canceled. They face severe consequences for past statements or actions without allowing room for personal growth or learning from their mistakes. Striking a balance between promoting inclusivity and preserving the principles of free expression remains a complex challenge in navigating the terrain of a politically correct society. It could also lead to where we talked about with education, the negative effects there, where an overemphasis and avoiding potentially offensive topics may result in a sanitized version, as we spoke of before, where teachers of a different race may not feel comfortable talking about things such as the Holocaust or slavery in the workplace. It may lead to a fear of unintended missteps, leading to strained relationships, I should say, and stifled collaboration. In entertainment, as we've mentioned, there could be the risk of creative stagnation, as writers and creators may feel constrained by the need to adhere strictly to politically correct standards. If we become a society that's not balance between promoting inclusivity and allowing for creative expression, we could find ourselves actually hindering the human experience altogether. Sacrifice artistic freedom, sacrifice true conversation. It could create a climate where satire and humor are curtailed to avoid offense altogether, diluting the comedic landscape and limiting the exploration of societal issues through satire. Ultimately, while political correctness aims to create a more inclusive and respectful society, its negative effects highlight the importance of approaching these issues with thoughtful consideration to avoid unintended consequences, and those consequences being a step on free expression, pounding on creativity, punching out true education, and interpersonal relationships. Can we do that? Can we become political correct without stifling humor, language, and creativity? Truly, only time will tell. Our topic for our How Did We Get Here segment is about porn addiction. We would like to give out an 800 number. That's 866 921 2005. That's 866 921 2005. That is the porn addiction hotline. Porn addiction is a term often used to describe a perceived compulsive or problematic consumption of pornography. While not officially recognized as a mental health disorder in widely accepted diagnostic manuals, some individuals and mental health professionals use the term to describe behaviors where the consumption of pornography interferes significantly with daily life, relationships, or overall well being. It's essential to note that discussions around pornography and its consumption and its potential effects are nuanced. What may be considered a concern for one person might not be for another. If someone is struggling with their relationship to pornography and believes it's affecting their life negatively, well, they should seek support. They should call the 800 number that we gave at the onset, or maybe talk to a mental health professional. Even a support group can be beneficial. Open communication and understanding within personal relationships are also crucial when addressing such matters. Excessive consumption of pornography can, in some cases, lead to negative consequences, including potential impacts on mental health, relationships, and personal well being overall. Individuals who feel distressed or impaired by their pornography use may benefit from seeking help. And it's important to approach the topic with empathy, understanding, recognizing that attitudes toward pornography vary widely. Open communication should be given, even among friends or with a parent child relationship. We should seek to foster healthier attitudes and behaviors. In the world of behavioral addictions, porn addiction tends to be misunderstood. This not only continues to stigmatize this addiction, but also makes it very difficult to spot whether or not behavioral addictions such as porn are actual addictions. That's highly debated in the psychiatric and treatment communities. While some of these addictions, like gambling, are much more accepted than others, such as addiction, for example, there is still a great deal of controversy from medical professionals on where addictions end and compulsions begin. Regardless, there are people suffering. So, where there's an addiction or compulsion, one should seek help. One of the most reported addictions is porn addiction, or feeling a compulsion to watch porn and not being able to stop. Regardless of whether a person professes positive or negative outcomes from their pornography use, 11% of American men and 3% of American women have self reported that they consider themselves addicted to pornography. And like any addiction, though, there are signs that you may be having a problem. If you're wondering whether excessive pornography use has reached the level of addiction, it's important to watch out for the top 10 signs of porn addiction. The first one is you can't stop. You're not unable to stop using or viewing pornography despite trying to do so. And if you can't stop, you may notice that you're spending more and more time on the internet despite others' attempts to communicate with you. Two, you want more. You may experience cravings to view more or feel cravings if you have gone without porn for any amount of time. You may find yourself sneaking away from your partner to another room. It's possible that you'll give an excuse or get defensive when questioned about your behavior. Three, you've lost time. You may lose large periods of time to viewing porn, wasting most of the day without accomplishing anything. You could notice that you've become lethargic and haven't accomplished much as of late. You may seem like you don't care or that you are very uninterested in anything else. Four, you've lost interest in sex. If you're addicted to porn, you'll likely lose interest in real sex. Not only that, but you may find your partner less attractive than you did before. You may find yourself less attractive than you did before. You might become unresponsive to romantic advances from your partner. And this can cause you and your partner to get distant, even uninterested. You may require more stimulation than you had previously needed in order to become aroused. Five, you're more demanding. See, a porn addiction may cause you to develop some unrealistic ideas, frankly, unrealistic ones about sex. You might become more demanding in the bedroom, find yourself easily frustrated, and or begin alienating your partner. And when this happens, your partner can feel physically and emotionally uncomfortable. Six, you've lost attraction. See, porn addiction can give you unrealistic expectations of beauty for your partner. This can make the one that you're with feel hurt about their appearance and create a greater problem for their self esteem. Five, you're in physical pain. You may begin to experience physical pain as a result of porn addiction. This can be from the repetition of certain physical movements for long periods or from the strain that comes with excessive computer use. You might frequently complain about your wrist, neck, and back, or might experience headaches. Eight, you begin losing money. It's possible you've started spending money for what you consider higher quality content. And when this happens, you can quickly begin falling into some kind of financial hardship. This can manifest as you're complaining more about money problems, but being unwilling to disclose the exact nature of the problem. Nine, you're distracted. If you find yourself distracted from different aspects of life, it might have something to do with porn addiction. Your mind might drift to porn when you're with friends, family, or coworkers. This can significantly impact your personal and professional life. It can make you distant from your partner and their attempts to connect with you as well. 10, you're angry. Like with any addiction, if you can't stop using porn, you may become easily irritable when it's not available. You may find your patience wearing thin, especially with tasks you view as obstacles to porn use. This can also make it easier to lash out at those around you who could notice major changes in your personality and feel that you're not the same person that they had loved before. In addressing concerns related to potential pornography addiction, individuals may consider therapy options. There may be more understanding or focus on modifying their own behaviors. Support groups or counseling can provide a space for discussing challenges and strategies for managing pornography consumption. You also want to be open with your partner. That's crucial. Relationships can be affected by differing views on pornography, and addressing concerns together can foster understanding and compromise. It's essential to emphasize that individual experiences with pornography vary, and what may be a concern for one person may just not be for another. Yet, seeking guidance and maintaining open, non judgmental conversations can contribute to a more comprehensive and supportive approach to addressing potential issues related to pornography consumption. But when we look at the fact that it's 11% of men in the US, which is a huge number, we're talking of tens of millions, or there's 4% of our women, so we're still talking millions. The question remains, how did we get here? Wine collecting is a popular and sophisticated hobby that involves acquiring and storing wines with the intention of building a curated and often valuable collection. Wine enthusiasts engage in this hobby for various reasons, including the appreciation of different vintages, grape varieties, and winemaking regions. Collectors often focus on specific types of wine, such as reds or whites, or wines from particular regions or vineyards. The aging potential of certain wines adds an element of anticipation and value appreciation over time. Proper storage conditions, including temperature and humidity control, are crucial for preserving the quality of wine. Many collectors enjoy the social aspect of sharing and discussing their collections with fellow enthusiasts. Overall, wine collecting combines elements of connoisseurship, investment, and the joy of discovery, making it a rewarding hobby for those who are passionate about the world of wine. Wine collectors often develop a deep understanding of the intricacies of winemaking, vineyard practices, and the factors that contribute to the unique characteristics of each bottle. They may participate in tastings, attend wine events, and engage with a broader wine community to expand their knowledge. Beyond personal enjoyment, wine collecting can be seen as an investment. Rare and well preserved bottles can appreciate in value over time, creating opportunities for buying, selling, or trading wines in the collector's market. This aspect adds a financial dimension to the hobby, attracting individuals who see wine as both a passion and a potential asset. Some collectors build extensive, meticulously organized cellars, while others focus on specific themes or periods. The evolving nature of wine, with each vintage offering a new experience, ensuring that wine collecting remains a dynamic and continuously evolving hobby for enthusiasts around the world. Collectors often engage in the art of curation. They're diverse and well balanced in their collection. They may track the evolution of certain vineyards, explore emerging winemakers, or acquire bottles that have historical significance as well. Participating in auctions, both traditional and online, is a common avenue for collectors to acquire rare or limited edition bottles. Networking within the wine community, attending tastings, and joining wine clubs provide opportunities to discover hidden gems and share insights with like-minded enthusiasts. Being successful at our wine collecting requires a combination of passion, knowledge, and patience. Collectors may also find in documenting their journey that they can maintain records of tastings, acquisitions, and the stories behind each bottle. In essence, wine collecting transcends the simple act of accumulating bottles. It's a dynamic and multifaceted hobby that intertwines history, culture, and craftsmanship, offering a lifetime of exploration and appreciation for those captivated by the world of wine. Our sunflower message is a poem. In the garden of life where dreams take flight, a tapestry woven in soft golden light, each dawn whispers hope, a new chance to dance, embracing the journey, a serendipitous trance. Through valleys of challenges, we find our own song, resilient spirits, courageous and strong, stars in our eyes reflecting endless grace, a symphony of kindness in every embrace. Sunset hues paint stories on the sky, lessons learned as time passes by. Raindrops may fall, yet flowers still bloom. In every heart, there's an infinite room. Celebrate the laughter, embrace the tears, for they're the lyrics of our unique years. Together we wander, hand in hand, creating a melody only we understand. So let the winds of optimism lift your soul. In the grand symphony, you play a role. Uplift your spirit, let kindness be sung. For in this shared journey, you're never alone. On Cash App, $Live Laugh Talk, on Twitter at Live Laugh Talker, and on your podcast platform, please donate to support the podcast. All is appreciated and used for the purpose of growing the podcast. Also remember to rate us the highest on your podcast platform and give us really high reviews. But don't forget to do one or the other. If you're on that platform, make sure that you rate us the highest and then write very highly of us as well. Tell your friends about us, your family, your colleagues, and a way to do that is to go into Etsy, search for the merchandise. How did we get here? Or Live Laugh Talk or my name, and you can search for all this merchandise that we have out nowadays. It's fantastic, like cups, tumblers. We've got hoodies, we've got dog clothes, we've got it all. So if you have some of these things that says Live Laugh Talk on it, people are going to ask, what is that? And then that's when you can inform your friends, family, and colleagues about the podcast. You can be that person that knows the new, hip podcast, as we call it, a common sense one that brings knowledge to everybody and hopefully helping our community. This is James and Georgia's baby boy signing off. And as you know, I can't wait to talk to you again soon.